XRP, bonds, ETFs, the markets, overvaluation, and now jobs coming in a little bit better than expected. Is the Fed going to continue cutting rates? Well, they might slow down now. What does that mean? Do you remember Michael Burry, The Big Short? Do you remember the housing bubble? Do you remember the 2000? Well, is it about to happen again? I've been warning people to be cautious. Now, I'm bullish. I own XRP. I own Bitcoin. I own Ethereum. I'm all invested. I'm fully invested. I'm in margin. That's improving today with rates coming down. However, I am giving some warnings here. You might notice on our channel, we have the silver play button and we also have the verification tick from YouTube. The verification tick is not given to everybody. It means genuine, authentic, real information. Everything I'm doing here is to help the Lucasades, not to sell videos, not to make money. I make money from investing. And I share my thoughts with you openly and honestly. I don't take sponsorship from anybody. In fact, when I have sponsorship from people, it's members and it's to give to you in prizes, which is what I'm doing all the time. Our latest giveaway is $2,000. So I'm very excited about the markets. However, got to be careful. It's not a time to buy. It's a time to trim, reposition, and maybe go defensive. And you all know what I mean by that. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the new Doge ETF. It's out in 10 minutes time. I'll share it with you on the screen. This is Rex Osprey. You heard about this. This is the great ETF that was to come to XRP. You may remember that. It's been delayed and everybody got excited. I wouldn't be excited about this. This is not a great ETF. Remember, anyone can set up an ETF. Meet Kevin did it. He's a YouTuber. Started working at Pizza Hut. I could set up an ETF if I wanted to. No intention of doing so. Doesn't make you a qualified good asset just because you're an ETF. We've also got good job news today. Well, does that mean the Fed don't need to cut rates? Well, yeah. They didn't really want to. They were quite hawkish, if you remember yesterday. But with jobs cooling, they decided to drop it a 0.25%. Doesn't make much difference. Are they going to pull back? If they do pull back, well, your favorite crypto will go down. It's supposed to rally after a rate cut. Well, it moved a little bit. Everybody went online and said, Bitcoin's pumping like crazy. Really? Pumping like crazy? Well, it was 120,000 a few months ago. It's 117 now. It's great. It's up. It's down today, but it's not pumping like crazy. People are always ready to tell you something which is just simply not true. I don't know why. Empty vessels make the most noise. That's what my mum told me. Anyway, it's great to see XRP up today. It's up today because people are excited. They think that the rate cuts are going to come en masse and we're going to get a rally on XRP because of the ETFs. I've always told you I'm more focused on the Ripple Bank, but we do have some news today around the ETF or the partnership with Franklin Templeton. It's good, but are we going a little bit ahead of ourselves? Why have I bought Coca-Cola? Why has it gone down today? That's a concern. A defensive position gone down today. Well, it's gone down my favorite defensive position today because of a price target reduction from two major analysts. They've reduced it, not much, hardly at all, from 80 to 78, but nevertheless a reduction. What does that tell you when defensives are being trimmed? In valuations, not in prices. I don't mean prices, people buying or selling the stock. I mean the valuation of the business. This is important. This tells you the market is on an edge. And when the market is on an edge, Michael Burry sat in his office banging on those drums, telling everybody the jungle drums are running and there's going to be a big crash, the big short. And no one listened until it was too late. So my job, self-imposed, is to provide information that is supportive, honest and real, not designed create hype and havoc and craziness just so all of you will watch some videos so I can make some ad revenue so I can just buy XRP. Not at all. My job is to provide information that I can go to bed with and know that my wife says to me, Martyn, you did a good job today. And mentioning Leah, that's why I'm late this morning. It's Leah's day with the surgeon today. We're going to the hospital shortly, and that's why I was late this morning supporting Leah. So I apologise for being late. I'm sure you all understand. We're going through some difficult times at the moment. So let's break down some of this news. In a few moments, in 7 minutes, we'll ring the bell together and we should see Rex Osprey ETF go live. There's no price right now. It looks like it's free. It's not free. You can't buy it. If you click on buy, it won't let you buy it. All right. You can't fill it in. There's nothing you can do. You fill it in, you can't buy it. All right. So don't think you can buy it for zero because you can't. That's the Doge ETF. It's kind of bullish, I guess, for crypto, but it's not that big a deal. Doge is flat. You see what I'm saying? This is a precursor of what we might get when we get the ETF for XRP. The catalyst is the deals that are done with Ripple, not XRP itself, the coins and ETFs and all that stuff. It's a little bit of excitement for people to report on and pump the asset, but it's not what I'm investing on. I'm going defensive, and I don't apologize for doing that. $250,000 now in Coca-Cola, and it was devalued today, which tells you we are on a knife edge. And if you are not prepared and the carry trade unwinds and we do get a sudden exit of the market, everything will go down and you'll see the market go down 20, 30%. And you'll see crypto go down 50 to 90%. So you have to be prepared for that. I know you don't want to hear it. I mean, I am bullish. I'm all in with you. I'm in the Bitcoin. I'm in Ethereum and XRP. I've got, how much have I got now? $77,000. It's not like I, haven't got any money, and that's with margin too.
David Hensley donated $5 through a super chat. Please don't ever apologize for something like that again. We love you and we love Leah, and I will pray for the both of you.
Thank you, David Hensley. Much, much appreciated. So let me break down the news this morning. About what's going on. I asked ChatGPT to give me some more information with the deal. Here's what's new with XRP and Ripple and Franklin Templeton with DBS, a recent deal that's bringing together traditional finance plus blockchain in an interesting way. However, like I wanted to express in my in this show this morning, it doesn't mean we should all rush out and start buying XRP. When you bought it low, this is why you bought it. You didn't buy it for today. You bought it then, and now today is the beginning of the rewards, but it is the beginning. So what exactly is happening? Well, they've got a partnership, MOU, DBS, a major Singapore bank, Franklin Templeton, global asset manager, and Ripple have signed a memorandum of understanding. Okay, so it's early. If you don't know what this means, this is early. This could take a lot of time, a lot of work to get something to actually occur. But this is just a memorandum of understanding. What they're building, they'll create a tokenized trading and lending solutions using SG Benji, a tokenized version of Franklin Templeton's US dollar short-term money market fund. So it's intention to do something that will help the valuation of Ripple more than XRP, but of course XRP will go up because of that. It's early days though. And the fact that we may suddenly get the Fed turning against us. Don't fight the Fed. If we do, with prices as high as they are and defensive plays also going down in valuation, we are at the edge of a cliff. I want to be absolutely clear here. I do not want to be one of those guys on X telling you it's going to go to $1 million. I'm bullish. I own it. Got 75 grand invested here in crypto. I don't want it to go to zero or down. But I just want to be clear. RLUSD, Ripple's USD dollar peg stablecoin. This will run on the XRP ledger. Great. So what can investors do? Well, trade between RLUSD and SG Benji to shift between a stablecoin and a yield-bearing money market fund. Earn yield during periods when markets are volatile. What about the next phase? Lending, collateral, and repos. They plan to allow SG Benji tokens to be used as collateral for credit, either with DBS via repurchase, repo transactions, or via third-party platforms. Now, why this is significant? It's blending of traditional financial assets, money market funds, with blockchain tokenization. We knew this was coming. We expected this. This is good, which could increase efficiency and liquidity. Most certainly can. Enables 24/7 trading. This is what I've been saying for the longest time, that the stock market is actually going on the Ethereum network. Now, don't confuse this, the payment system and the rails. It's different, okay? We talk about three assets: Bitcoin, and we talk about digital capital, not to be mistaken with digital gold. Digital capital. Think of it like Mona Lisa. Think of it like assets you just own, and they go up in price because of the scarcity. That's it. No more. You can't use it. You can't send it around very much. You just own it. It is what it is. That's why it's, I own it, but it's not my favorite thing in the world to own. It doesn't produce anything. Okay. Then we've got XRP, the payment system. And then we've got what the stock exchange will live on, which is Ethereum. This is why I hold Ethereum, and I've staked it, not even looking to trade it. I'm just staking it and earning money all the time from it. So why it's significant? It's a blend of traditional financial assets, money market funds, and blockchain tokenization, which increase efficiency and liquidity and enables 24/7 trading, faster settlement, more flexibility compared to traditional markets. Now, if you've ever sent XRP to somebody, I have, because I've just paid it out as a prize, you will know, oh, we're about to ring the bell. I don't want to miss the bell. I'll come back to that. Let me come back to here. Let me go back to main portfolio. 10 seconds to go.
Is the reasoning level.
Let's ring the bell.
Right now, it's a kind of a souped up Google, and it's really good for summaries.
In 5,
How about
4,
when you say to it,
3,
I believe that
2,
the Brown
1.
v. Board should preempt something involving the 14th Amendment. And you have to hire a team.
The bell has gone. Defensives are being devalued right now, so be careful. That tells you a lot about the market. My overall portfolio is slightly red. Okay, markets going down. Let's see how all the markets are moving. There we go. My overall portfolio is moving down. The S&P is trimming. It's up, but it's now selling off as well. Virgin Galactic is up 1.54. Palantir up 0.93. Gold going down 0.27. Amazon selling off. Apple up 0.5. Enphase Energy, my top tip of the year. Enphase Energy is now $39.30. It's going to $100. Coca-Cola is only selling off because of the realignment of the analysis. Two analysts have lowered their price target slightly. So it's going down. It's also to do with the bonds and overvaluation of the market, and the fact that we have, and remember, Coca-Cola will proceed what the risk on assets do. It'll prepare to support the market. This is how it works. Coca-Cola is now finding a bottom. J&J defensive, down slightly. Chevron Oil going down. Tesla pulling back. McDonald's going down with Coca-Cola. It does it all the time. Down 1.1. Google is up 0.7 at the moment. Microsoft is trimming, down 0.24. Meta up 0.74, still rising. Those new Oakley glasses were out today, I believe. Nvidia up 2.71. I've got a price target of $200. Will it get there? Walmart defensives. There you go. You see, defensives are being trimmed at the moment to buy the pump, to be dumped and then returned. That's how it goes every time. Tilray Brands barcoding. You can't touch it. Robinhood up today, $2. Why is it up? It's up because of rate cuts on the margin. I reported that earlier. They didn't have to do that, by the way, but they did. The fact they reduced rates. Oh, let me reduce that a little bit. I'm sorry, it's a little bit loud. Sorry if the music is a bit loud. Is that better? The music was a bit loud there, wasn't it? Just a bit more. Okay. Robinhood is up 2%. Because they've reduced margin. They didn't have to do that, but they have. It's helped people invest. More people were using margin. Robinhood make more money. Rocket Lab up 1.79. It's up, it's down. I just can't buy this. Plug Power all over the place. Can't touch that. Bitcoin. See? Bitcoin is not rallying. People on X today are telling you that Bitcoin is rallying. It's not rallying. That is not what's going on. And it can easily sell off now with the news, what I've been talking about this morning. With the jobs and rate cuts maybe not on the card so much. Bitcoin is going up. It's still down, hardly moving. It's not pumping like people keep telling you. XRP, but XRP went to 350 or 347, so it's not rallying. It's up 0.85. There's a very cautious stance on the market. I don't want any of my Lucasades to lose money today, and there's no reason to do so. Ethereum is down 0.45. There's the markets for the day. Let's go back to Wall Street in a second, see what they're saying. My portfolio defensive is up again. Am I beating the market? Am I beating the market? No, I'm not. I'm just behind the market at the moment. I like to say every morning I'm beating the market again, but I'm not quite. I will be shortly, I'm sure. Defensive will overtake. So we're going to go green again. There we go. Let's turn the studio green. Oh, I just noticed that. Did you notice the play button? I just realised that. That's quite cool. The play button glows. Look at that. The play button glows red or green. I like that. That's good. I wonder if I go green, what it'll do. There you go. That's interesting. We have a mega green day. I'll do that. All right, and I'll go back to YouTube here. There you go, overrides it. That's pretty cool. Nice little set in there. So my overall portfolio is going up. That's nice. Let's go back to crypto. See, it's not rallying. It's up 0.12. All right. Bitcoin's hardly moving. Ethereum is hardly moving. XRP's up a bit, but it's not doing that much. Okay, up 0.97. Remember, this is a risk on asset. I had someone message me yesterday and went, Martyn, you're talking absolutely rubbish. Our bloody postman, an idiot, right? He says, you don't know what you're talking about. Bitcoin, Coca-Cola's not making any money. It's like move 1%. What are you talking about? Right? Comparing it probably to Binky Bonk or Fart Coin. You know, if you've got a risk on asset like a crypto, they can go up 100% in a day. Well, Coca-Cola isn't going to, is it? But the point is, if you have a crypto coin that explodes 100%, it's not worth anything. What are you going to do? Are you going to sell it? Are you going to take the 100%? Most people won't. They'll wait and they'll expect it to go more. And then if they do sell it, they'll buy something else equally a risk. They'll lose it next time. What happens then to all the money that you've got to keep for taxes? The point is, with Coca-Cola, you can just own it. A defensive position, you can own the business. Remember, own the business, not the stock. It's very different. I had a post from Sensei this morning. I forget where it was. I'll try and find it for you. I don't know if I can find it now. Sensei gave me a post, very interesting, and he was very concerned for me going all in on XRP. Let me just find it a second, and I'll emphasize my point. This is really important. If I can just see, I probably can't find it now. 4 hours ago, where was it? I get so many comments. It's very difficult to keep a track of it all these days. It doesn't matter. Sensei was concerned for me because of my exposure to one stock. However, I'm not exposed to one stock. I'm exposed to a great business. There's a difference of understanding there. Anyway, I just want to make that clear. So there we go. Doge is opened. Doge Rex Osprey has opened. You can now buy it for $26. It opened. Where did it open? Did it open down? No, it didn't. I mean, it's just opened here, right? You couldn't buy it here. So there you go. There is the Doge ETF. Shall we watch it for a moment? Is anyone going to buy the Doge ETF? What about the Dogecoin army? Where are they? Where's the Dogecoin army? Why is it not pumping? The Doge ETF has just opened. Why is it not moving? It's up 0.39. I thought it's supposed to rally. It's important to watch this because this is what could happen to the XRP ETF. By the way, this is a rubbish ETF. You don't want this. All right. Let's have a look at the information here. They've not yet displayed their cost basis. Look, that's a bit naughty. Expense ratio. They've not put that in there. All right. Do not buy this. Rex Osprey is an awful ETF. When I was studying this, because everybody was getting excited because it was going to come to, they were going to have the XRP ETF. It's a rubbish ETF. It's not BlackRock. It's not iShares. They're not trying to get, they're just getting in on the game quicker by default. That's all. They want everyone to buy this. They're not even displaying their expense ratio. So how can you buy this? You don't know what it is. All right. So if I click here and go buy, you can see I can now buy it. I can now buy, if I share it on the screen a little bit more, you can see I can buy this, but you don't even know what you're buying. You've no idea what the expense ratio is. All right. So this is interesting because this is showing us how an ETF in crypto is going to affect our XRP. It's doing absolutely nothing. No one's buying it. Look at that. And you can't buy it. You don't even know what the hell it is. All right. It's ridiculous. Absolute nonsense. So XRP is up slightly. 1%. Where's it going? What's the rest of crypto doing? Bitcoin, 117, still down today. It's not hardly rallying. If you go on X, you'd think we've just gone to the moon or something. Listen, I want to be clear because I know I have a huge crypto audience. I invest myself in crypto. I don't want to come across as bearish or pessimistic. I've got $77,000 of my money and I never lose. 74 trades, 73 wins. I'm not in the business of losing money. I'm in the business of consistently making money and giving you the best information. I value my silver play button and I value my verification tick of honesty, trust, and genuine content. I value that. So I value my Lucasades. So I'm not here to, there you go. The new margin rates are out from Robinhood. They're telling you about the new margin rates. Let me just see if I can share that information. We knew this was coming. I alerted it to you earlier. So this is not a surprise. Where's it gone? They're not even showing it now. It just popped up and then it disappeared. Buying power. Explore your margin. Let me just bring it up a second. View all rates. Okay, I'll do it here. So it's dropped from, let me do it this way. It's dropped from 5.25 for me to 5%. So it's dropped 0.25%, which is great. Now remember, Robinhood did not need to do that. It's very nice of Robinhood. We appreciate it. It's why Robinhood's up today, because everyone's now going to be turning on the margin and chasing stock, which is what you don't want to do. Anyway, what's important is to be consistently up. If you're consistently up, like I am, you're always making money. You're compounding. You're not chasing the market. You're forever bullish, but you're also cautious. There's nothing to be gained from thinking the market can go up forever and everybody can make money forever and we can't go wrong and all the rest of it. It's not the case. Let me go through all our positions and have a closer look at what's moving, so get a bigger understanding. So my overall portfolio is up. Great. The S&P is up, but it's trimming again. It keeps trying to break out and keeps being rejected. I'm concerned with the carry trade looming and with bonds on a knife edge, and now the jobs coming in. The economy is generally strong. That means that the Fed don't need to cut rates. I mean, I think there's an 80% chance now of 0.4 for the rest of the year. 0.4 in addition to what we had yesterday. That's it. That won't move. That won't move the market. And if it does and it gets too hot, there could be a mass exodus into defensive positions. I've already done it. I always want to be ahead of the game. I know it's unpopular. People go, oh, you should be buying Bitcoin, XRP. I've already bought it. I'm not chasing it. All right. So look, Palantir's being rejected. Gold going down. Remember yesterday, people said, and Sensei even covered it in his news item, the rates was good for gold. Selling off. Because we might not get that many more rates right now. And if we get a scare that there's no more rates coming this year, and the Fed weren't exactly bullish, were they? They weren't dovish, they were hawkish. Crypto could go down very quickly. So you don't want to be out with the money. And people always tell me it's time in the market, not timing. Look at Amazon. Time in the market is correct. Always remain invested. But time in the market is also valuable, and knowing when to trim and move your positions defensively. People take headlines they've seen on YouTube, just own the market, buy the dip, dollar cost average, all rubbish. It's comic book, very childish statements that are used to influence people to watch videos. It's rubbish. It's not useful at all. Okay. And there you go. Enphase Energy, which is all about rate cuts, is selling off because now the bonds are telling me, and so few retail investors understand the bond market. That's what this is telling you. So few retail investors who buy crypto care or even understand the bond market. The bonds are moving, and the bonds are telling you we're not going to get many more rate cuts. The jobs were stronger today. It wasn't weaker today. It's good for the economy. But remember, I've always said the economy is not the stock market. You've made some money, trim, go defensive. Enphase Energy, which is relying on interest rates to go up, is selling off. People that understand the bonds can see the writing on the wall. Michael Burry banging on his drum. I'm telling you, be careful. I know it's unpopular. Nobody wants me to say this. Coca-Cola has rebounced from its low. Defensive, coming back up. J&J, defensive, bouncing back up again. Chevron Oil, going down. Tesla, going down. McDonald's, going down. Google, trimming back. Look, just started to sell again. Microsoft, down. Meta, doing very well. That's on the back of this, on these new Oakley glasses. Would anybody wear those things? I don't think I want it, to be honest with you. Anyway, Nvidia up 1.83, but trimming back. Walmart down slightly. Tilray rubbish. Robinhood on the news this morning of the margin. Everyone's excited. It's now selling off again. People taking profit all the time now. Rocket Lab, vroom, way overbought. Plug Power, vroom, manipulated. Bitcoin up, straight back down again. Go and tell anybody on X who keeps telling you that Bitcoin is rallying and pumping today and we're all going to $1 million. You're talking absolute dross. I bet none of them have ever read a paper on bonds. They've got no idea the bond market is on a knife edge. XRP, on the day we bring out our first meme coin ETF, Doge. There it is. Rex Osprey, look at that. Everybody said it would rally when we get an ETF. Look at that. It's down. And you don't even, and people don't even know what they're buying. There's no expense ratio reported. You've no idea what you're doing. It's going down. This is supposed to rally Dogecoin. I like XRP. I like Ethereum. I like Bitcoin. I'm bullish, but I also like making money. And I always make money and I always get it done. Be careful today. I'm going to see, I've got an alert from Robinhood. Let me see if I can get, it's the same thing. Okay. No big deal. Right. So there we are. Let me go to comments and questions and see what you all feel today. Let me go to comments and questions. I'll tell you what we'll do. Yep, let's go through all of these. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Stephen Lewandowski. Matthew, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Blue Bus Driver, XRP, how are you? It's an exciting day, but it's a day to be very, very cautious and understand where you're going. The silver play button turns bright red today. I can't overemphasize the risk factor of these bonds and everything. Let's see what CNBC is saying.
Broadcast TV is simply different. Particularly during COVID, we saw this massive surge in censorship on the internet by Facebook, by previous owners.
Oh, have you seen this? Jimmy Kimmel
has
been taken off.
Broadcast is different. They've got a license and they're free.
Jimmy Kimmel's been taken off TV for his words about Mr. Kirk, Charlie Kirk. What's your thoughts on that? Good morning, DJ Hooped. Good morning to you. I've been doing a lot of research on real token on the XRP ledger. The only way I can get it to this is with magnetic DEX on my Axeman wallet. But it's a real estate token that has massive potential, in my opinion. Thank you, Curtis, for your information. Morning, everyone. Mark Saxby. How you doing, Mark? Back down to the space station again. Mark should live down there. He visits it every day. It's the New Late Show. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Martin and everyone. Have a great day. Dan Ackerman. I don't trust the markets at the moment. I see no great news from the fake. No, they were very, very hawkish. So I'd be careful. I've gone defensive. I don't trust the markets. This is a real token website in case anyone's interested. Thank you, Curtis. Space to 350 today. Let me have a look at it for you. I don't see that at all. Absolutely not. I'm going to put my name in the sand, Emmanuel, and say you're wishful thinking. The bonds are moving. The fear is coming in. Everything is overbought. Everyone's been buying and buying. The S&P at 27 times earnings now. It's ridiculous. It's the edge of a cliff. It can't run forever. I like AI. I like the S&P. I own the S&P. I like crypto. I own it. However, I don't like losing money, and I'm not going to lose money. This is a real concern. I can't see how you can see 350 today. I can see $3 today. I can't see 350 today. Anyway, we're slightly green. I'll give it green. There we go. XRP, Deeper Hunt, hooked. Thank you. I've done pretty good with Rich Coins Robotics at David Hensley. Thank you for your thoughts. That was supposed to say they got a partnership. That's okay, mate. Steve Wally, good morning to you. Good morning, Conrad. I'm getting... I'll try and catch up here. Morning all, Nonny315. Altcoins focus on the Internet of Things and supply chain. Thank you for that. In fact, I'm just going to go to members only. I've got too many comments to be able to read everyone's questions out. I want to read everyone's questions out. So please repeat your comment and question if you are a member, and I will read it out. XRP to $1,000. Oh my God. I cannot believe there are still people, they're never members. They're always trolls. They're always people who haven't got a clue. I've had so many people message me. You said the other day XRP was going to $1,000 in 3 hours. Does nobody take responsibility anymore for their own actions? Does nobody anymore understand what the hell they're talking about? Does anybody actually read anything and understand anything about anything? Right? Anyone who thought that I was suggesting XRP could go to $1,000 in 3 hours is a flipping lunatic. It was a joke and a pun because I was giving away $1,000 to one of you in my giveaway. Everybody knows that. And anyone who thinks that XRP can go from $3 to flipping $1,000 in 3 hours, you shouldn't be investing. And I had some people say, I got margin called because of you. No, you didn't. You got margin called because of yourself. If you don't know what you're doing and you can be that easily led by a joke. I mean, if I say the sky is made of marbles, are you going to go out and buy shares in marbles? I mean, what on earth are people saying? Obviously, it was obvious to everybody. And also, I want to add this. I was going to like apologize for 5 seconds. And I thought maybe it was too much of a joke. Maybe it was so silly. It was believable, because some people just think that the crazier it is, the more they believe it. So I actually went back and I reminded myself what I actually did the day before. If you look back on the previous video, I said to you, just before the video came out, I said to you, I'm going to make a video next about our giveaway tomorrow, and I'm going to tell everybody that XRP is going to $1,000. I actually said that in my live stream just to warn people that's what I was going to say, because I thought, you know, some people are that stupid that they will literally believe it and they won't realize the irony, the joke, the humor, even though it was flipping obvious. So I said it and I checked it. So I thought, no, I'm not going to apologize, because first of all, if you believe that, then you're a flipping lunatic. You're obviously reading nonsense on X. And second of all, I already preempted it in my live stream when I told my audience I was going to do it. So Key Boss Avila, XRP to $1,000. What's going on? What's going on? I'm angry. Did you get margin call? Did you buy it? Well, there you go. I'm not your financial advisor. What can I say to that? Smaller profits, but keep trading, not long term. What I actually did was give somebody $1,000. Oh, by the way, I'm now giving away $2,000. So if I do a little joke on the day of the competition and say XRP is going to $2,000 today, you probably believe that as well, right? One person will. High energy in the house. Good morning, Martin. The more rate cuts this year, MAGA in control of the Fed next year. MAGA in control of the Fed next year. No, you can't have that. The Fed is completely impartial. Donald Trump can't control the Fed. If that happens, then we've got, with the stock market would sell off and people would exit. People would exit their money. People would leave the American stock market if they thought it was controlled by the president. That's what's happened before. That's what happened to other countries when they've done the same thing. If you're saying MAGA, and I'm assuming you mean Make America Great Again, I'm assuming you mean Donald Trump. If Donald Trump takes control of the Fed, people would take their money out of the market. The market would crash like overnight. That's not going to happen. Anyone who says that doesn't understand how the bond market works. The bonds would go woof, and everything would go woof like that overnight. Happy anniversary. To who? Who's having an anniversary? I missed it. What other stocks are defensive? There's plenty of stocks. J&J, Pepsi Cola, certain rights are quite defensive. I prefer Coca-Cola because I understand the business. I understand the management. What is happening with bonds? Bonds are on a knife edge. Bonds are government debt. We've got the carry trade. We've got all this unwinding. Bonds are not signaling a hard stop on rate cuts. 2 more cuts by the end of the year. The Fed yesterday. No, you are wrong.
Donated $1.99 through a super chat. Grayscale Digital Large Cap got approved yesterday.
Thank you very much indeed. Grayscale Digital Large Cap got approved. Thank you much indeed for that, Jack Stokes. Thanks for sharing that information. Bonds are not signaling a hard stop on rate cuts. Yes, they are. Absolutely they are. If you can't read it, it's all over. It's written in everything. Usually goes down before going up. Good morning. Hello all. It wasn't for my one stock. I would be down. A bit worried. Hi from Australia. Good morning, everyone. There's no reason to worry. There's no reason to be doom and gloom. There's no reason to sell the market. There's no reason to panic. You just need to be repositioned. Look, we've just had Jack Stokes said Grayscale Digital Large Cap approved. Crypto is going down. We've got Dogecoin ETF approved. Crypto is going down. You cannot look at Rex Osprey doing nothing. It's going down. Doge did not rally on this news. Okay? Crypto is not rallying on this news. The best performer, it's why I like it the best, is XRP. But if you go on X today, they will tell you it's pumping like crazy. No, it's not. And it's not going to either, because if we get rate cuts taken off the table, which is highly likely after what I've heard this morning, then we are not going to see a rally right now. We're going to see a defensive position. I know you don't want to hear it. Nobody does. But you see, my Coca-Cola sold off on the price target reduction. It should have gone down a lot more, and it's bounced straight back up again. This tells you everything you need to know about the stock market right now. So be careful. Don't say you wasn't warned. Good riddance, hello, legend. Good riddance. Who are you talking to there, mate? I have no idea. Good morning. Jimmy Kimmel has... Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel has always been a creep since The Man Show. He has freedom of speech, but not freedom of consequences. Rest in heavenly peace, Charles Kirk. I've got to be honest. Can I please react to this? Last night, I was out when I heard the news that Jimmy Kimmel had been taken off air because his comments about Charlie Kirk. And I listened to several people explain what had happened. I listened to just random people that came through my YouTube feed. There was Fox, there was CNN, there was Megyn Kelly. There was several people that just popped up on my, just going through, I was just scrolling through shorts, and I was listening to what people were saying. Can I be totally honest? I had no clue what the hell they were talking about. This person's on the right. This person's on the left. This person over here. MAGA said this. MAGA said that. Supposed to, but didn't. They were suggesting this, but didn't. And it meant that, and the left was the right, and the right was the left. And I thought, what the hell? I haven't got a clue. What is going on? It's like, no one seems to be respectful anymore. Everybody's out to make noise. Everybody jumps on everything. Everything is like extreme reaction. No one's just calm. Be respectful. Be nice. That's easy. That's easy, isn't it? Right? And then when someone's not respectful or not nice, it just goes all over the place, and statements come out, which I regard myself as relatively intelligent, but I didn't understand any of it. I thought, what is it? I mean, maybe I'm not American, right? I don't know the ins and outs of all the government stuff, but I thought, I haven't got a clue what they're saying. The right said this, the left said that, this is implementing this. I thought, are people being angry for the sake of being angry? I ain't got a clue what's going on. I mean, it sounds to be awful what happened. I think it sounds really bad. I don't know. I don't understand what was actually said, to be perfectly honest. Anyone who's just rude and disrespectful, someone gets shot. It's horrible, isn't it? Don't make jokes out of it. I mean, that's just common sense, isn't it? But when it starts getting political, right said left, left said right, left said it's like everyone just gets, the volume just gets turned up. Everyone starts shouting at everyone, and no one even knows what the argument is. Have you ever had an argument with your husband or wife, and it's gone on for a couple of days, and you've gone, what are we rowing about? I've done that. And I go, I don't even know what we're rowing about. What am I angry about now? I can't even remember. And that's just me and Leah arguing. I don't even remember what we fell out over, right? And it was probably something really simple, not as complicated as this. I honestly believe that a lot of people get on social media and everyone just goes ridiculous. Everyone goes extreme to create stupid videos and X accounts and reels and TikToks. And everyone just wants to be the first to shout about something. You know what? The truth, the peace is on a different level. The truth and the peace isn't on social media. It's not shout over here or shout over here. It's, you know what? Sod the lot of you. It's go somewhere quiet. Just go somewhere quiet and listen and think. That's where the peace is. That's where the truth is. Just calm the hell down. Why is everyone shouting at everybody? I ain't got a clue. I come from England and I try to understand American politics, but sometimes I haven't got a clue what's even being said. And I don't think most people do. Honestly. Hello, everybody. The market is in a correction. I'm in agreement, Martin. Josh Monroe, XRP just started. Let's go. Aris. It's always a non-member. It's always a non-member who wants to be super bullish on nothing. Look at that. Doge ETF selling off nearly 1% down already. This was supposed to be the day. Oh, it's going to boom. No, ETFs don't make a difference. Oh, yeah. Yeah, according to Aris, yeah, XRP ETF just started. Let's go. It's not doing anything, is it? I'll say it again. And I know you're not a member, because I know my members wouldn't say this, right? The Lucas aides understand the markets, right? People that just come in don't understand. The big news for Ripple is the big news for XRP. And the big news for Ripple is becoming a bank. That's where the money is. That's where the money is. That's how you make money. When they take XRP and lock it up as a reserve. That's what makes XRP useful, moving money, paying for transactions. That is what you buy XRP for. That's the only reason you ever bought XRP, to be a payment system run by banks and institutions. Oh, yes, but I bought crypto because I want decentralization. I want it to be free and I want it to be unregulated. No, you don't. And it isn't anymore, is it? And I'll go one step further. I will say Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and all this stuff is not only not unregulated anymore, it's now being controlled by the government. The very opposite of what you wanted is what it should be and what we've got. It always will be. You think the government are just going to allow it to do whatever it wants? If you want that, you buy Pepe the coin. You buy Fart coin. You buy Binky Bonk. You want a real asset? You buy XRP, you buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and you use it. And when it makes money as an investment, not a speculative gamble, and this is why I started to buy it at the top, because that's when we got regulation. That's when we got all these things, mechanics in place. I don't give a damn. I don't give a monkey's ass for Rex Osprey today. That is one of the worst ETF. It's like Yield Max. Yield Max came out and idiots, and I'm not going to apologize for saying idiots. If you go and give a ETF fund manager, which is what you're doing, think of the one person at the office, that's who you're giving it to. If you give an ETF fund manager at Yield Max your money and you go, there's my money, and you've not read the prospectus, and when you do read it, you'll realize that your profits are capped. Who's ever heard of that? Profits capped. You can't make more than so much money. Think of it. It's in the small print. It's all super leverage stuff. They're promising you dividends and they're just taking out the value of your portfolio. It's a joke. And there's a Yield Max ETF for every single thing, like Tesla, Microsoft, Google. Just go and buy the actual asset. They can't give you an ETF. They can't give you a dividend, but this company can. Rubbish. Well, Rex Osprey is that. It's the first ETF that's rubbish. It's out. It's not even telling you what its expense ratio is, what it costs, and what they're charging you, and people are buying it. How mental is that? All right? And it's not pumping, it's not exciting because it's rubbish, right? You don't want to buy it. And it's not making crypto go up, is it? Dogecoin, in fact, Dogecoin is down. What a bloody joke, right? I am bullish on crypto. I own XRP. I own crypto. I've got 77 grand of crypto. I've sold my ETFs to buy defensive because the market needs to be defensive. However, the value in XRP is Ripple Bank. That's the value. Because as they take the money out, the XRP out and lock it up, it becomes scarce. They release all the escrow stuff, lock it up. It becomes a reserve. XRP goes up in price because it's scarce. And then every transaction that the bank do, and I know because I talked to Bank of America, I know how they're going to use it. I know how they're buying it. As every transaction is done, XRP gets burned. Boom, boom, tiny little bits. I mean, insignificant, but tiny nevertheless. And it gets burned. So XRP earns money. It makes money. And it becomes more scarce and it becomes more valuable. That is the very definition of an investment. The ETF just allows more people to buy it. Does that make it more valuable? No. What happens when more people can buy it? The asset goes up in price. Does it become more valuable? No. Price is not valuation. And I've stressed this over and over again, and I've learned this by talking to hedge fund managers, Wall Street managers, and CEOs. The times are changing, and market cap has never been the way to value a business, a regular business. But retail investors, that's how they value businesses. It's wrong. The way to value a business is a balance sheet. And when I did a poll on my show, 85% of people never read the balance sheet. Never read the balance sheet. They only just look at the market cap and the momentum. And crypto is an exaggerated version of that. You cannot value XRP on a market cap. For me, the only way to invest in XRP and to buy XRP and to value it as a real, solid, reliable investment is understand its path to how it makes money. How does XRP make money? Create an ETF. Everyone goes and buys it. It goes up. No, rubbish. Wrong. That doesn't make it more valuable. It makes the price go up just so it can be dumped again. That's not making it valuable. So ETFs don't do sod all, just like you can see for Rex Osprey. They'll create these funds because funds are businesses. Hedge fund managers sit around one day and go, let's create an ETF for Dogecoin. And they start laughing, going, really? We're going to get all the idiots and we're going to create we're going to create a fund for ETF. Yeah, they'll buy it. Yeah, loads of people will buy this. They'll think it make the price go up. Really? We can actually get away with that? Yeah, we can. We can create, and I know I talk to these people. They laugh at parties. I hear these conversations. They think it's funny. They set up an ETF and go, yeah, meet Kevin set up an ETF. He's a YouTuber. And it got wiped, it got taken off. It was rubbish, right? This is the same thing. So they set up an ETF. Why are we doing it, boys? Well, you know why we're doing it. You know why we're doing it, mate? Because we can make some money. Because everybody will buy it thinking it will make the asset more valuable. Well, it won't, will it? Well, of course it won't, but they don't understand that. They think ETF, it's now a professional, regulated platform and everybody can buy it. Well, everybody can buy it though, can't they? Yeah, they can all buy it. Everyone can buy it now, but it looks sexier. It looks better. Great. Well, how do we make money? Well, it doesn't have to go up or down. We don't care. In fact, it will probably go down because it doesn't do anything, just like it's not today. So how do we make money? We just charge a really big fee for the management fund. Where does the management fund go? Us. Now, us. This is our wages. Oh, well, that's good then. Shall we create one? Yeah, there's literally hundreds of millions of retail investors about to buy it. And they'll just pay us 2%, 5%. We don't even need to tell anybody how much we're charging. They don't even care. Look, on the day we release it, we're not even telling anybody. I think it's great. Do it. Create an ETF. Let's make some money. Sod it. We don't care. We don't care if it goes up, down, or sideways. And then we'll pay a few influencers on X. They've tried to pay me. There are YouTubers with 10% of the audience I have taking money. I refuse it. I don't take money from these people. They've tried to pay me. The highest I had was about 50 grand now. I've had a recent one a couple of days ago. 50 grand. Promote our ETF. $50,000. You've got 100,000 subscribers. Go and promote it. We'll pay you 50 grand. Look at my Gemini referrals. I've got none of the money. I'll show you that in a minute. None of it. Tell a lie. I've had $76. I'm not getting any of the money. None of it's coming through. I'll show you in a minute. You won't believe it when I show you. That's why I sold my Gemini. I thought, sod this. This is bloody ridiculous. I'm getting nothing out of this. So, and I'm not sponsored by them either. So we can make all this money. Doesn't matter. Everybody will just buy it. No. What this does is it makes the asset go up in price. Because when everyone buys it, it goes up until it pops and it goes back down again. And the hedge fund managers don't care. They make money anyway because they've been getting paid by you to run the whole game. Oh, Martyn Wheeland.
Martyn Wheeland has become a member.
A gold member. You can now book a 1-hour call with me a month. All right, so you can schedule that with me. Thank you for becoming gold. You also get discounts from the shop. Just let me know. Reach out to me via my Discord. You can send me a message in there. I'm assuming you're a Discord member now. And I'll verify your gold status and you get all those perks. But anyway, so what's happening? The ETF's out, nothing. Lot of rubbish. Why is Rex Osprey the why didn't IBIT, why didn't BlackRock become the first? Anyone know why? Because Rex Osprey applied for their ETF. By default, they would get it after 75 days. BlackRock do things differently, right? They wanted to be the first out to get some free money. So they're out and no one's buying it. It's rubbish. Okay. I don't know if they're buying the ETF or not, but the asset's not up, right? It's just not going anywhere. But they're just going to get all these millions of dollars now, hundreds of millions, and just give themselves pensions and off they go. They don't care if Dogecoin goes to zero. Doesn't matter, does it? The real ETFs, the ones that aren't derivatives, that actually own the actual asset itself, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, whatever, they're not out yet until October, November. This is out. It's rubbish. It's like your yield max of the ETF world. Don't buy it. Anyway, there you go. There's my thoughts. Do what you want with it. So XRP is up today. Whoop-de-doo. Great. But I did not put $75,000 into crypto to make 1%. I'm not buying this. I have to have a 300% profit for this to be worthwhile. There has to be a 3x above it at any time because the risk to reward. I can't buy it rallying up to $10 because my valuation based upon actual valuation of the way Ripple will make money with the Ripple Bank. This is why we calculated $10. It's not a magic number we just siphoned out of the air. Yes, thank you, Sensei. I've got a press conference just started. We're going to go live to Donald Trump. I've just got an alert from Sensei. Here we go. Donald Trump and Keir Starmer.
NATO, to the creation of technologies that have revolutionized our lives. Time and time again, it is British and American men and women side by side, changing the path of history and turning it towards our values, towards freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. In Britain, we take huge pride in that. And let's be clear, this relationship is not just about history, it's about the future. It's about the benefits it delivers now and for decades to come, to make our people safer and better off. We've shown today that we're delivering those benefits, improving people's lives. So we will go into that anniversary year more optimistic than ever and more confident than ever about our two great nations and what they can achieve side by side. Thank you. And it is now my pleasure to give the floor to Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you very much, very much. Prime Minister Starmer, Melania and I are tremendously thankful for the wonderful hospitality that you and Lady Starmer have extended today at Chequers. Quite the place, I must say, quite the place. And we're grateful beyond words for the spectacular honor of the state visit yesterday at Windsor Castle, hosted by His Majesty King Charles III and Her Majesty Queen Camilla. These are two fantastic people. We will never forget it. As I said last night, the bond between our countries is like no other anywhere in the world. The United States and the United Kingdom have done more good on this planet than any two nations in human history. That is thanks in large part to the traditions of British liberty, which grew up on these isles, these beautiful, magnificent isles, and were carried by our ancestors to the New World. We're forever joined, and we are forever friends, and we will always be friends. This enduring connection is why I was thrilled that the United Kingdom was the very first country with which we made a historic trade deal, and a very good trade deal. He's a tough negotiator. I think it was a better deal for you than us, but these are minor details.
It's a very good deal for both of us.
He's a great negotiator who will extend our unparalleled security alliance into the realm of economic security for the first time, and I look forward to finalizing it very soon. We'll have it done very quickly. We have also just signed a historic technology prosperity deal, one of a kind, to ensure our countries lead the next great technological revolution side by side. In fact, we just left the business leaders, the biggest in the world. Some are in this room right now. And that was quite a meeting we had on business and trade and technology. This trip has galvanized $350 billion in deals across many sectors, and we're committed to ensuring that the UK has a secure and reliable supply of the best AI hardware and software on Earth. And we supply that, and we'll make sure we supply it in quantity to the UK. And we also are joining forces on quantum computing and nuclear power, a natural partnership for close allies. The United States, as you probably have heard, is doing better than it has ever done in terms of business and investment. The stock market has hit a new high, as you know, and that's for many, many days out of our fairly short 8 months. And we seem to be hitting new highs, and I think we're going to do much better even as time goes by. Jobs are at a record, and most importantly, we have more than $17 trillion, $17 trillion, and this is during an 8-month period being invested in the country, which is not only a record, but if you compare $17 trillion to the last year of the Biden administration, they did $250 billion. They didn't do $1 trillion for the 4-year period. We did $17 trillion of investment coming in. A lot of it's because of tariffs, and a lot of it's for a lot of other reasons, but there's never been anything like it. It's an economic superstar. That's what's become. It was mismanaged and badly handled for a long period of time, but it's not badly handled anymore. So that's a record. And remember, that's up until 8 months. We have another few months to go, and that number is going to get significantly higher, especially if we win a certain case that we're waiting to hear. That will be something like the world has never seen. I want to congratulate the United Kingdom on making the vital commitment to spend 5% of GDP on defense at the NATO summit this year. We've worked together very closely in so many ways. I'm very honored to tell you that we've solved 7 wars, wars that were unsolvable, wars that couldn't be negotiated or done. The U.S. has done 7 of them. The one that I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin, but he's let me down. He's really let me down. It was going to be Russia and Ukraine, but we'll see how that turns out. But that turned out to be, I thought it might be among the easiest of the group, but we had settled just about every conflict. And as you know, we're working very hard on Israel and Gaza. All that's happening over there. Complex, but it's going to get done. It'll all get done right. And likewise, Russia and Ukraine will get done. But you never know in war. You know, war is a different thing. Things happen that are very opposite of what you thought. You thought you were going to have an easy time or a hard time, and it turns out to be the reverse. As we saw in the unforgettable parade yesterday at Windsor Castle, what a place it is. The British Armed Forces carry on one of the finest military traditions in the world, one of the greatest marching bands, one of the most magnificent sights I've seen. I know that our service members look forward, and we do look so forward to working even more closely with yours as you push toward that 5% goal. And I think, Mr. Prime Minister, you're just about there. You're going to be there very quickly, along with a lot of other great countries. I want to thank NATO and our wonderful head of NATO, who's really worked very hard, Mark, for the job they've done. As you know, NATO was at 2% GDP, and they didn't pay it. Now they're at 5%, then they pay it. And we appreciate that. And we're sending a lot of weapons to NATO. NATO is paying for those weapons in full. But we're sending them, and we're doing a great job at getting them what they need. And we appreciate the fact that they're taking care of it, because the United States is into that war for $350 billion. And it just really very sad. Just got out of control. They didn't know what they were doing. But over the generations, British and American warriors have shed their blood side by side in defense of liberty and freedom. And that's why it's so imperative that the United States and the United Kingdom stand together for these fundamental rights and values of the English-speaking world. And we've always stood together, and we will continue to. Just last week, a great American, Charlie Kirk, was heinously assassinated for speaking his mind. He was a great young man. Incredible future. Some people said he might be president someday. I told him, I said, Charlie, I think you have a good shot someday at being president. And he just wanted to take care of youth. He loved youth. I've never seen anybody relate to youth like Charlie. And they related to him, and they're devastated. But I appreciate the many British citizens who have offered their condolences. And again, Charlie was a great person. We'll be going out to a service on Sunday. I'll be leaving with some of the people in this room just to celebrate Charlie and all that he's done. So incredible. Never seen anything like it. But I hope that together our nations can lead a movement to defend the glorious traditions of freedom on both sides of the Atlantic. There could be no greater tribute to the immortal bonds of affection and loyalty that unite the British and the American people for all of time. We have a relationship like no other. It will always be that way. We will always be united. We'll always be together. And I just want to thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for the great job I think you're doing. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We're going to take some questions. I'll call 2 or 3 to start with, and then I'll pass over to the President. I've got Chris Mason from the BBC first. Chris.
Thank you both. Chris Mason, BBC News. Mr. President, the UK is expected to recognise a Palestinian state in the coming days as the killing in Gaza continues. It often seems that you're the only person that Israel will listen to. What more can you say to them to tell them to stop? And why is the UK's position on a Palestinian state, in your view, wrong?
If you wish me to carry on showing the conference, say yes in the chat. If no, then tell me to stop. So yes or no.
In your own party.
In fact, I'll do a poll as well.
Well, Chris, let me just start with that, because we discussed this amongst other things. We had the best part of an hour, I think, upstairs earlier today, just one-to-one, going through a number of affairs, world affairs, in private. And we absolutely agree on the need for peace and a roadmap, because the situation in Gaza is intolerable. The hostages have been held for a very, very long time, and they must be freed. And we need aid to get into Gaza at speed. And so it's within that context of a plan for peace, which we're working hard on, which not only did we discuss this morning, but our two teams have been working together on, that the question of recognition needs to be seen. And so it's part of that overall package, which hopefully takes us from the appalling situation we're in now to the outcome of a safe and secure Israel, which we do not have, and a viable Palestinian state. Thank you.
Well, simply, I want the hostages released now, right now, not 1, 2, we'll give you 3 more tomorrow, and, you know, like it's been, but we're the ones that got all the hostages released. We got many, they came, many came to the Oval Office, and I've heard stories like I've never thought even possible. There was no humanity, no anything. I said to them, I said, was there any warmth shown during this stay? Like they offered you a little extra meal, they gave you a little smile, and they said, don't worry, you'll be okay. And every one of them said, not even a little bit. Amazing, you know, to think that during this stay, long stay in some cases. We had a man the other day, 451 days he was there. I always ask that question. And was there any warmth shown? Just a little word of, you know, encouragement. And the answer is every time, absolutely not. I'm shocked to hear it, because in the worst cases, there's always somebody that comes through. We have to remember October 7th, one of the worst, most violent days in the history of the world, not just there, the history of the world. And I got to see the tapes, and I wish I didn't see them, actually, but I got to see them. And I want an end. I want the hostages released, and I think it's going to be okay. But it has been a brutal period of time. But this has been going on for a long time. This is not something that's over the last year, 2 years, but this has been for decades and decades. But we want it to end. We have to have the hostages back immediately. That's what the people of Israel want.
In a few moments, stay to the end of this. I'm going to show you,
and it's going to stop.
A very special guest
you know, Hamas
is watching us, watching this broadcast on a big TV
in front of any
in
attack.
A palace.
And that's pretty brutal.
Who do you think it is?
One in a long time.
Put your guesses in the chat. Who is watching this broadcast with me on a big TV screen, watching from a palace? A palace.
Jack from the Sun. Jack.
I'll show you in a moment.
Jack Elson from the
Guesses
Sun.
in the chat,
Mr.
please.
President, in the 9 months you've been in office, you've been incredibly successful in all but eliminating crossings on your southern border.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, illegal migration is at record levels in Britain. The Prime Minister is trying to tackle that. What advice would you give to the man standing next to you on trying to stop illegal migration in Britain?
Just blow them all
and
up.
Prime
like
Minister, if I can just
like
ask, the President is all about
does.
drill, baby, drill in terms of trying to secure American energy and cut bills for Americans. Meanwhile, you are turning Britain's back on oil and gas in favour of renewable energies, such as wind turbines. Why do you think that you are right and he is wrong?
So we had millions of people flowing in, totally unchecked, totally unvetted from the Biden administration. 25 million, in my opinion, that would be about 25 million. They came from prisons, they came from mental institutions, they were gang members, they were drug dealers. They came from the Congo. They came from all parts of South America. They came from everywhere. Think of it. Prisons from the Congo being released into the United States. Prisons opened up in Venezuela and many other countries pouring into the United States. And I couldn't believe it. And one of the reasons I decided to run. I decided to run because I don't want to be controversial, but you see what's happened and you see all the information that's come out. We won in 2020 big. And I said, let's run. We got to run, because I saw what was happening. And the worst thing that I saw was all of these people. You know, we've already solved inflation. We've solved prices. Oil is way down. Energy is way down in the United States. But what I saw happening with millions of people pouring into our country, I couldn't stand to watch it. And we've done a great job. Nobody, if you've seen the last, I appreciate your question, by the way, nobody, absolutely zero, and I'm not even sure that's possible, but it's a very liberal group that come out with those statistics. The last 3 months, we had zero. From millions of people a year ago, we had zero people enter our country illegally. And we do have people coming in legally through a legal process and testing and lots of other things. I think it's very important, and we speak about it, and I think your situation is very similar. You know, you have people coming in, and I told the Prime Minister I would stop it, and it doesn't matter if you call out the military, it doesn't matter what means you use, but it's going to destroys countries from within. And we're actually now removing a lot of the people that came into our country. It's a very hard chore. We were given a very, very bad hand. Millions of people came in from prisons and mental institutions. We have to remove them, and we are removing them. We have no choice, and I feel very strongly about it. Thank you very much.
Jack, let me just deal with the question of returns, because this is obviously an issue we're taking incredibly seriously. We've struck a number of deals both on cooperation with other countries, because this is a problem right across Europe, to tackle the problem of actually breaking up the gangs that are running this trade. We have had a record number of returns, over 35,000 now since we came into office. That's the highest number for the best part of 10 years. We struck the returns arrangement with France, and notwithstanding the challenges to that scheme, which you've seen in the last few days, a flight went off at 6:15 this morning, successfully returning someone under that scheme. So that is an important step forward. Obviously, there's no silver bullet here. There's a range of things that need to be done. But given the challenges of returning people, it is important that we're able to prove it can be done. It was done. It was done early this morning. So I can confirm that that flight went. It went successfully. And I'm pleased about that. Now we need to ramp that up at scale, which was always envisaged under the scheme. But it's very important that we have been able to prove that the proof of concept, if you like, that this can be done, and will continue in that way. On the question of energy, firstly, let me be really clear that I am absolutely determined to ensure that the price and cost of energy comes down, so that bills come down both for individuals, for families with their household bills, but also for business, because this is so important. The mix will include oil and gas for many years to come from the North Sea. We've been clear about that for some time, but we also need to mix that with renewables, and it's the mix that's really important. And the approach I've taken on this is the same approach that I take to many other things, a pragmatic approach. Thank you, Jack.
I would like to say that we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. We had inflation, the likes of which we've really never seen. They say 48 years, and I'll accept that, but I really don't. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country, and we had a expression that I used a lot, drill, baby, drill. And as you know, we brought fuel way down, the prices way down. And we don't do wind because wind is a disaster. It's a very expensive joke, frankly. And we got our energy prices way down. That brought the inflation way down. And now we have very little inflation. And we have a very, very strong economy. So that was very important. Drill, baby, drill. And you have a great asset here. We spoke about it. It's called the North Sea. The North Sea oil is
Paget
phenomenal.
donated $1.99 through a super chat.
Country. You know, my mother was born in Scotland, and the Hebrides, Stornoway. That's Syria, Scotland. We were talking about it, and I want this country to do well. And you have great assets that you're going to start using, I believe, under this Prime Minister.
Thank you. And I've got Matthew from The Economist. Matthew.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Mr. President, you say that President Putin has let you down. Have negotiations run out of road, and what are your next steps to compel an end to this war?
Well, he has let me down. I mean, he's killing many people, and he's losing more people than he's killing. Yeah. I mean, frankly, the Russian soldiers are being killed at a higher rate than the Ukrainian soldiers. But, yeah, he said, let me down. I don't like to see. It's death. You know, it doesn't affect the United States. We have, other than unless you end up in a world war over this thing, you could. This was a thing that would have never happened had I been president. If I were president, it would have never happened. And it didn't happen for 4 years.
through a super chat.
Most people agree it didn't happen, nor was it close.
Thank you for your support.
And I spoke to President Putin about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye. I've said that many times. It was. But he would have never done what he did, except that he didn't respect the leadership of the United States. They just went through the Afghanistan total disaster for no reason whatsoever. We're going to leave Afghanistan, but we're going to leave it with strength and dignity. And we're going to keep Bagram, the big air base, one of the biggest air bases in the world. We gave it to them for nothing. We're trying to get it back, by the way. Okay, that could be a little breaking news. We're trying to get it back because they need things from us. We want that base back. But one of the reasons we want the base is, as you know, it's an hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. So a lot of things are happening, but I am very disappointed in the fact that that one's not settled. To think that we settled Azerbaijan and Albania as an example, it was going on for years. It was never going to be settled. If you remember, the Prime Minister and the presidents, they were there for many years. They said, when they were in my office, we settled. And they started off at both sides of the Oval Office, so far away. I didn't know you could be so far away. And as we were together for an hour, they kept getting closer, closer. And by the time we finished, we all hugged each other. And one said, I've been in this position for 22 years, and all I've done is kill their people. The other was there for 7 years, and all he did was kill their people. And we got it settled. And we did others, as you know. The Congo, we settled the Congo with Rwanda. That was going on, and that was a machete war. That was a gruesome war. Many people, close to 10 million people killed. We got that settled. My biggest disappointment, but it's, you know, look, we did 7, and most of them were not thought to be settleable. We did India and we did Pakistan. That's 2 nuclear. That was purely for trade. You want to trade with us, you're going to have to get along. And they were going at it hot and heavy. But the Russia situation, I hope we're going to have some good news for you coming up. But again, it doesn't affect the United States. And look, it doesn't so much affect you. Of course, you are a lot closer to the scene than we are. We have a whole ocean separating us. But I will say this, it's millions of people have died in that war, millions of souls. And they're not American, they're soldiers, mostly soldiers, as you know. The soldiers are being killed at levels that nobody's seen since the Second World War. But they're being killed, and I feel I have an obligation to get it settled for that reason. Thank you.
And just to add on that question, because we have to put extra pressure on Putin. And it's only when the president has put pressure on Putin that he's actually shown any inclination to move. So we have to ramp that pressure up. I think it's important to have this conversation in the context of what's happened in recent weeks. We saw damage and bombing to the British Council in Kyiv. These are targets that it was thought until recently were not targets that would be hit. The British Council, the European Union Embassy, the Council of Ministers, where President Zelensky's ministers work was hit. Again, these were thought to be places that wouldn't be hit. And then the incursion into Poland last week. And if you put that together, what you can see is either an emboldenment or at least an increased recklessness on Putin's part. And that's why I said earlier that they're not the actions of someone who wants peace. So we have to ramp up. And we discussed earlier today, we have built the coalition of the willing with British leadership and French leadership, stepping up with military planning in the seas, in the sky, on the ground, and ramping up what we do with the Ukrainians themselves. And of course, that, taken with an American guarantee, is now an example, I think, of the challenge of Europe stepping up to the plate, which it has done in the last few months, to show through what we and the French have done, that we're prepared to take the lead in this and take the necessary measures.
But that's a war that could have been a third world war, and I don't think we're going to be there now. But that was heading to a third world war. And what a shame it is. What a shame it is.
Mr. President, do you want to call some of the...
I would love to call a few of them. Bev, do you want to have a question?
I've got to come back to you.
Bev Turner, GB News. Thank you. Having been in DC for a few weeks, it's really interesting to see how you run the country as a proud Christian leader. And it really begs the question to the Prime Minister, if you don't mind, are we still a Christian country? But also...
when you say we, are you talking here or...
Here. The UK. I'm still British. I might live in America. I'm still British. But also,
I can't give you that answer.
That's for the Prime Minister. But also, despite what we talked about in Scotland a few weeks ago, we still have 12,000 people a year here being arrested for social media posts, for free speech violations. Does that not remain an important area that there is still a lot of disagreement on?
I'd like to have you answer that.
Yeah, look, I mean, in terms of a Christian country, I was christened, so that is, my church has been all my life, and we are, that is wired into our informal constitution. Of course, we celebrate many other faiths as well, and I'm really proud that we're able to do so as a country. And on free speech, that has long lived in this country, free speech. It's one of the founding values of the United Kingdom, and we protect it jealously and fiercely, and always will, and we will bear down on any limits on free speech. I draw a limit between free speech and the speech of those that want to peddle paedophilia and suicide social media to children. And therefore, I'm all for free speech. I'm also for protecting children from things that will harm them, paedophiles, those that peddle suicide, which has had a terrible consequence for individual, particularly teenagers. And so that's the balance we strike. But we have had freedom of speech in this country for a very long time, and we will always protect it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Brian, please.
Thank you. Prime Minister, it's good to see you again. You have a beautiful country. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being
Two
here.
questions. One, just recently, President Trump labeled Antifa domestic terrorists. Would you consider doing something like that in your country?
Well, we obviously will take decisions for ourselves. I don't want to comment on the decisions of the president, but we take our decisions ourselves.
And my question to you, President Trump, is there any update on the auto pen?
Yeah, it's just gotten worse from their standpoint. The people that used it, and one in particular, one person, was never told by Biden to do it. Only spoke to Biden twice, and that was just talking about the weather, not talking about any order. And he was taking orders from people other than Joe Biden. Joe Biden wasn't giving those orders. You know, Joe Biden didn't believe in open borders. He didn't. I've known him for a long time. He was never the brightest bulb in the ceiling, as we know. You can go back 40 years ago and you'll see that. Go back and take a look at the hearings on Justice Thomas, and you'll see that very much. But he didn't believe in open borders and all of this nonsense that they're peddling now, which is why they're not in office any longer. It's a shame. The auto pen was illegal. It was illegally used. He never gave the orders. He never told them what to do. And I guess the only one he signed, or one of the few he signed, was the pardon for his son. But you had the congressman who, when they got the information, they found out they were guilty, and they deleted and destroyed all information, everything. You couldn't get any of it. They found out that Nancy Pelosi actually was offered the 10,000 soldiers, and she turned them down. They found out many things that were very bad. So they deleted and destroyed all information. You talk about freedom of the press and freedom of speech. How about that one? And there's not a thing. This is after a year and a half of hearings. They destroyed everything. And somebody's got to be held responsible. So Biden, what he did is they knew, I don't think he knew, but somebody knew. I don't think Biden had a clue about anything, if you want to know the truth. But they gave a pardon to those Congress people. They gave a pardon. Those people are so guilty. They gave a pardon, but Biden didn't know about it. The people, whether it's Lisa or any of those people in there that really ran it, I know them all. And they're sick people. They're smart people. They're very smart. They're probably brilliant, but they're sick in ideology. And they were running the auto pen, and it was totally illegal what he did. And I hope it's going to be so adjudged.
Did you want to take one more, and then I'll go back to British?
Let's see. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. In the deal that you're working on for the Chinese to sell TikTok to an American buyer, are the Americans going to have to come up with their own algorithm, or are they going to continue to use the successful but addictive Chinese algorithm?
So what we're doing, and we're speaking to President Xi on Friday to see if we can finalize something on TikTok, because there is tremendous value, and I hate to give away value, but I like TikTok. It helped get me elected. In fact, Charlie said, "Sir, you ought to get on TikTok. You'd be great." I said, "Really? Tell me about TikTok." And we, as you know, we did unbelievably well with youth, like at a level that no Republican has ever even dreamt of. And in what, you know, look, I think we won it for a lot of reasons, but that was a reason we won the election by such a big number. TikTok has tremendous value. The United States has that value in its hand because we're the ones that have to approve it. I specifically get the right to approve it. The people that are investing in it are among the greatest investors in the world, the biggest, the richest, and they'll do a great job. And we're doing it in conjunction with China. but we are getting, the United States is getting a tremendous fee plus. I call it a fee plus for just making the deal. And I don't want to throw that out the window. I can say this, that you'll have a lot of very unhappy youth. And I use TikTok very legitimately, very straight, just statements every day, little statements, short statements. Sir, make it short, please. And TikTok Jack, we call him. It was pretty good. Did a good job for me, I guess. But no, I'd rather reap the benefits. I mean, the kind of money we're talking about is very substantial. And it'll be owned by all American investors and, you know, the best investors and the, you know, very rich people and companies are going to be owning it. Very, very straight, very legitimate companies, and really companies that love America. So they're going to be owning it. It's a big thing. And on a much bigger scale, and probably that's why we were able to get that, but on a much bigger scale, we're pretty close to a deal. We may do an extension with China, but it's an extension based on the same terms that we have right now, which are pretty good terms.
And my question for Prime Minister Starmer, if you feel so strongly about officially recognizing Palestine for statehood, why are you waiting for President Trump to leave the country? Why can't you just do it right now? And isn't there a risk in rewarding Hamas with that?
Well, let me be really clear about Hamas. They're a terrorist organization who can have no part in any future governance in Palestine. And what happened on October the 7th was the worst attack since the Holocaust. We have extended family in Israel. I understand firsthand the psychological impact that that had across Israel. So I know exactly where I stand in relation to Hamas. Hamas, of course, don't want a two-state solution. They don't want peace. They don't want a ceasefire. So I'm very clear where I stand on Hamas. Okay. On the question of recognition, I made my position clear at the end of July as to the timing, which has got nothing to do with this state visit, and I've discussed it with the President, as you would expect amongst two leaders who respect each other and like each other and want to bring about a better solution in the best way that we can. Thank you so much. Can I go back then to Robert at ITV?
Robert Peston, ITV. Mr. President, you uniquely, you alone in the whole world, have the power to persuade Prime Minister Netanyahu to stop the demolition of Gaza City, to stop the starvation of Palestine, and to stop the killing of civilians. If not now, when will you exercise that power to tell him to stop?
Sure.
And then for both of you...
But you do understand about October 7th.
You do understand. So believe me, I understand.
One of the worst days in the history of humanity. What happened, I have seen the tapes. Babies that are 4 months old and just chopped up to pieces. And you've seen the tapes and I've seen the tapes. You're a professional and so am I. And people forget about October 7th. I can't forget about it. So I want it to end, but I want the hostages back. I don't want the hostages used as human shields, which is what Hamas is threatening to do.
But as soon as they're back, that's the moment you will tell Netanyahu
to stop.
Well,
it would certainly help, but I have to have the hostages back. And I don't want them back piecemeal, as I said before. I want them back.
And on a separate issue, free speech, your Vice President, Vance, said that free speech is under attack in the UK. Do you agree with him? And Prime Minister, we saw the dismissal of a very well-known chat show host in America last night, Mr. Kimmel. Is free speech more under attack in Britain or America?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you know, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, on the question of Charlie Kirk, can I just express how shocking that is, I think, to everybody who believes in free speech and in democracy. It sent shockwaves through the world. And I know that he was a friend of the president, and I reached out straight away to the president because I understood how impactful it'd be on him and his family. And we all need to be absolutely clear about that. Whatever our political views, it is shocking and is to be condemned. On free speech, I'll not much to add to the answer I gave earlier. This country's had free speech for a very, very long time. It is part of who we are as a country, and it is the values that we fought for. We fought for it during the Second World War alongside each other. So we need no reminding of the importance of free speech in this country. Thank you, Robert. And I go to Beth for the final question, please. Beth.
Thank you so much.
Sky.
Thank you, Beth Rigby, Sky News. Thank you, Prime Minister. If I could start with you. Prime Minister, President Trump has said he's ready to impose major sanctions on Russia if NATO countries stop purchasing Russian oil. He's got a point, hasn't he? Is that what you now believe is needed to bring Putin properly to the table? And what's your message to the President on US sanctions? And Mr. President, if I may, the King praised your personal commitment last night to finding solutions to the world's most intractable conflicts. You have invested much of your time and effort in Ukraine, but even as you seek to broker a deal, President Putin is escalating the war. He's firing drones into NATO airspace. You say he has let you down. Was it a mistake to invite him to Alaska? Do you regret it?
No.
And is it time to squeeze him, sir, and scare him and impose sanctions? And finally, if I may, the elephant in the room, Lord Mandelson, he is no longer the ambassador. Do you have some sympathy with him that he lost his job over historic links to Jeffrey Epstein? Thank you very much, sir.
I don't know him, actually. I had heard that, and I think maybe the Prime Minister would be better speaking of that. That was a choice that he made, and I don't know. What is your answer to that?
Well, I mean, it's very straightforward. Some information came to light last week which wasn't available when he was appointed, and I made a decision about it, and that's very clear. On the question of the pressure on Putin and on Russia, which is obviously really important. Look, I think it is a challenge to Europe. There are a number of European countries which are too reliant on energy from Russia. The UK actually obviously has almost got nothing at all, but we do need to bear down and work with our European counterparts here. There are one or two countries, I think, that do need to look again at the question of energy. There's no one silver bullet here. We do have to have a wider suite of sanctions, which we've put in place a number of times, working across Europe and with the United States. And of course, we must, and we are, making sure that Ukraine is in the strongest position now, because one of my long concerns here has been that whilst we talk about a ceasefire, and we all want a ceasefire, and we talk about what might happen after a ceasefire, we mustn't forget that Ukraine needs our support now. And we've said we stand with Ukraine from the start to the finish, and that means we must continue to supply them with what they need in order to fight this war, which of course resulted from and is a result of Russian aggression. We have particularly done the sort of leadership role in the coalition of the willing, so that if there is a ceasefire and if there is a deal, and I do hope there is, that is then lasting and not then broken, because given previous history, I don't trust Putin. Thank you.
Very simply, if the price of oil comes down, Putin's going to drop out. He's going to have no choice. He's going to drop out of that war. And when I found out that the European nations were buying oil from Russia, and as you know, I'm very close to India. I'm very close to the Prime Minister of India. I spoke to him the other day, wished him a happy birthday. We have a very good relationship. He put out a beautiful statement, too. We have, but I said, you know, I sanctioned them. China is paying a very large tariff right now to the United States, but I'm willing to do other things, but not when the people that I'm fighting for are buying oil from Russia. If the oil price comes down, very simply, Russia will settle. And the oil price is way down. You know, we got it way down. We're drilling and we produce more oil than anybody else in the world. We're doing a lot. But I was disappointed to see that. And the Prime Minister was disappointed to see that. And it wasn't him. It was other countries. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. That's not playing fair with the United States. And we can't have that. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr.
Thank you.
All right, that was President Trump and Prime Minister Starmer at a
Thank you very
joint
much
press conference.
for sending me that link, Sensei. I really do appreciate it. Right, so a couple of things we're going to do now. I've got a brand new stock I've just bought, a mystery stock. 007 James Bond is the clue, and I want to give you information about that. Very rarely, extremely rarely, I buy a speculative stock, but I bought a business, and I'm going to share with you what it is in a couple of seconds. But before I do that, I said to you, we've got somebody watching, a VIP watching from Inner Palace. So I wanted to share with you this here, and I'm going to put it on the screen. We've got I'm not going to tell you who this is, but it's a real palace. Let's see. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a video out of this, and then you can reply, and I might give a prize who can work out who it is. All right. So let me just do this now. I'm going to create a little video from this. So I'll just do this, and then I'm going to give you the information on the stock, the new stock I've just bought. So it's in preferences. There it is. Okay, so here we go. A little competition here. We're being watched right now by a king in a palace. He just sent me this video in to me to show you he was watching the show live. Perhaps you can guess or work out or perhaps who this might be. So I'm going to play this for you now. Leave me your thoughts and comments below. Somebody very, very important in a real palace is watching our show right now. So this was the clip sent in to me a few moments ago. We've got some big whales to watch our show, and now it appears we might have a king or a prince in a palace. Let me share this with you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to play it. It's a 15-second clip, and you tell me. Look who's on the telly. There we go. Watching me present to Trump. Look at this. Look at this. A real prince or a king in a real palace. Who could this be? Watching me present Trump. All right. I just made a little clip. I just want you to share with me in the comments who that is, and let me know. A very special person is watching us on big screen TV. So give me, I'll put a link here. Links above my head, down below in the description. Write it in the comments, not now in the live chat where I'm making it, but in the comments, and I will see if we get anyone get it right. I'll just show you again. There are some clues. In a real palace, is it a prince or a king watching our show live right now? Just sent that in on the big screen. I love it. Pretty exciting stuff. So leave me your thoughts in the comments. Link above my head, down below in the description, also pinned here. And I'll put some other things over here. We've got a $2,000 giveaway. I'll put that up here, and down here, something you'd find interesting. And leave me your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Okay, I'll post that later, and you can let me know who you think that was watching. Now, what I'm going to do now is I've got something set up that I was doing throughout this, because I've got to go, because I'm taking Leah today to the hospital. Just seeing, where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm taking Leah to the hospital this morning for our first visit with the surgeon. So we're going to end this right now. So what I'm going to do is show you this. I'm going to do a brief live stream. It's ready to go live now. Here it is. Let me end the poll. And I've already posted it, haven't I? Yeah. I've already posted it. Yeah. I want to make sure it's the right link. So it'll automatically take you there. There you go. There is the link in the chat. When that video comes out later on, you might want to vote. I tell you what, I'll make it a competition entry to win $2,000. So we're going to go live here right now. What we're going to do is tell you about, very quickly, our giveaway. We're giving away $2,000, all right? And it might increase more than that as well. Here is the giveaway. There is the giveaway, martynlucas.com/giveaway. Please take part in our competition. It's free to enter, free for all, no purchase necessary. We make nothing out of you taking part. We're just rewarding and supporting all of you. So there you go. One ticket is enough to win. Do as many as you want. So there you go. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make that video a competition entry. So something down here, there'll be maybe leave a comment, get the right answer. Yeah, actually, it could be an answer. Yes, I will. I will do that. I will do that. I will actually put down who. I'll actually come up with a question in the giveaway so you can win tickets to win $2,000. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to switch over to this and tell you about a stock I have just bought, a mystery stock. I've bought the business. I'm not trading it. I own it. And 007 is the clue. What is it? You'll find out. Oh, hello.
Water donated $4.99 through a super chat. Hey, thoughts on small caps? Just saw Leah Breton. I'm curious on her opinion.
Small caps wouldn't touch them in a barge pole. Most of the Russell, 80% of the Russell will not be around in 10 years. Most of those small caps will disappear and go bankrupt. So the odds are against you. People often buy small caps when there is rate cuts, because rate cuts infuses and gives extra impetus to smaller businesses that are borrowing money. Absolutely. That's what happens. However, as soon as things turn to normal again, everyone dumps them and comes back to the quality. So I won't play that game. I'm not interested in buying rubbish to trade it, to make some money, to come back. I own great businesses and add to them. I don't buy rubbish, trade it, and hope I haven't missed the boat. Because remember, when the Russell starts being dumped, the S&P has already started to rally. So you're back where you started from. I'm not interested in buying new businesses. Rubbish. I'll buy a new business, and I've just bought one right now. I'm going to show you what it is. So this technically could be in the Russell. It's a small cap. So very rarely I'll do this, but I've just bought something which I think is pretty exciting. And I'll just give you a little spoiler. I'm already up on it, and I've never been red for 1 second. I'm making money on it already, and I haven't lost a single penny since. It's never gone red since I bought it. You know, most of the time when you buy a new stock, it goes red and then it goes green and then red, and eventually you might make some money, but it's never gone into the red. A bit like my Ethereum when I bought the ETF. All right, so we're going to go there right now. It's ready to go live. It'll automatically take you there. It's going to be a very short video because I think you might find it interesting. I'm going to go there right now. So it'll automatically take you there. The link is in the chat. I'll give it to you again. Here it is. And don't forget to take part in that video later. I will not see you this afternoon because me and Leah will be at the hospital. I will see you back tomorrow morning. There might be something from Vaz today. There might be something from Vaz today. He might be going live. So look out for that. If you've rung the bell and subscribed and rung the bell, you might be notified about it. All right? Okay, so I will later on post the video. Leave your thoughts below. Which prince, king is it? In the chat, let me know, and I will make it a competition video. I think there were clues in what you saw. Let's see if anyone gets it. Right, let's now switch over to this latest video. It's going to be a live stream. I'm going to go live for about 10-15 minutes, tell you all about this business and see what you think. Do you agree? are making money on it straight away. I never lose money. 74 trades, 73 wins. Let's get straight to it. See you there in 1 minute from now. Don't go away.